Alright, friends, my phone keeps stopping, so I'm not getting all the video fully recorded. So this is still Chapter 8. Let me find where we were at. This will be Part 2 now in the YouTube videos. I already uploaded Part 1. Let me see. Have you all got something? Asked Christopher Robin with his mouth full. All except me, said Eeyore, as usual. He looked around at them in his melancholy way. Melancholy, it's a big word, is a big way to say that he's sad. He's very sad. He's not having the best day. I suppose none of you are sitting on a thistle by any chance. I believe I am, said Pooh. Ow! He got up and he looked around him. Yes, I was. I thought so. Thank you, Pooh. If you've quite finished with it, he moved across to Pooh's place and began to eat. It don't do them any good, just sitting on them, he went on, as he looked up munching. Takes all the life out of them. Remember that in other time, all of you, a little consideration, a little thought for others, makes all the difference. As soon as he had finished his lunch, Christopher Robin whispered to Rabbit, and Rabbit said, Yes, yes, of course, and they walked a little way up the stream together. I didn't want the others to hear, said Christopher Robin. Quite so, said Rabbit, looking important. It's just, I wondered, it's only, Rabbit, I suppose you don't know. What does the North Pole look like? Well, said Rabbit, stroking his whiskers. Now you're asking me. I did know once, but only I've sort of forgotten, said Christopher Robin carelessly. It's a funny thing, said Rabbit, but I've sort of forgotten too, although I did know once. I suppose it's just a pole stuck up in the ground. Sure to be a pole, said Rabbit, because calling a pole, if it's not a pole, well, I should think it would be sticking in the ground, shouldn't you? Because there's nowhere else to stick it. Yeah, that's what I thought. The only thing, said Rabbit, is where is it sticking? That's what we're looking for, said Christopher Robin. They went back up to the others. Piglet was laying on his back, sleeping peacefully. Roo was washing his face and paws in the stream, while Kinga explained to everyone proudly that this was the first time he had ever washed his face himself. And Owl was telling Kinga an interesting antidote for a full long word like encyclopedia and rhododendron, to which Kinga wasn't listening. I don't hold with all this washing, grumbled Eeyore. This modern, behind-the-ears nonsense. What do you think, Pooh? Well, said Pooh, I think... But we shall never know what Pooh thought, for there suddenly came a sudden squeak from Roo, a splash, and a loud cry of alarm from Kinga. So much for washing, said Eeyore. Roo's fallen in, cried Rabbit, and he and Christopher Robin came rushing down to the rescue. Look at me swimming, squeaked Roo from the middle of the pool, and he was hurried down a waterfall into the next pool. Are you all right, Roo dear? Called Kinga anxiously. Yes, said Roo. Look at me and down he went over the next waterfall into another pool. Everyone was doing something to help. Piglet, wide awake suddenly, was jumping up and down and making, oh, I say, noises. Owl was explaining that in a case of sudden and temporary immersion the important thing was to keep the head above water. Kinga was jumping along the bank saying, Are you sure you're all right, Roo dear? To which Roo, from wherever pool he was looking in at the moment, was answering, Look at me swimming. Eeyore had turned round and hung his tail over the first pool in which Roo fell, and with his back to the accident was grumbling quietly to himself and saying, All this washing. But catch on to my tail, little Roo, and you'll be all right. And Christopher Robin and Rabbit came hurrying past Eeyore, and they were calling out to the others in front of them. All right, Roo, I'm coming, called Christopher Robin. Get something across the stream. The stream lower down, some of you fellows, called Rabbit. But Pooh was getting something better. 2 pools below Roo, he was standing with a long pole in his paws, and Kinga came up and took one end of it, and between them they held it across the lower part of the pool, and Roo was still bubbling proudly. Look at me swimming, drifted up against it, and climbed out. Did you see me swimming? Squeaked Roo excitedly, while Kinga scolded him and rubbed his and rubbed him down. Pooh, did you see me swimming? That's called swimming, what I was doing. Rabbit, did you see what I was doing? Swimming. Hello, Piglet. I say, Piglet, what do you think I was doing? Swimming. Christopher Robin, did you see me? But Christopher Robin wasn't listening. He was looking at Pooh. Pooh, he said, where did you find that pole? Pooh looked at the pole in his hand. Eeyore. I love the pictures in this book. They're very pretty. I just found it, he said, and I thought it ought to be useful, and I just picked it up. Pooh, said Christopher Robin solemnly, the expedition is over. You found the North Pole. Oh, said Pooh. Eeyore was sitting with his tail in the water when they all got back to him. Tell Roo to be quick, somebody, he said. My tail's getting cold. I don't want to mention it, but I just mention it. I don't want people to want to complain, but there is. My tail's cold. Here I am, squeaked Roo. Oh, there you are. Did you see me swimming? Eeyore took out his tail out of the water and swished it from side to side. As I expected, he said. Lost all feeling, numbed it. That's what it's done. Numbed it. Well, as long as nobody minds, I suppose it's all right. Poor old Eeyore, I'll dry it for you, said Christopher Robin, and he took out his handkerchief and rubbed it up. Thank you, Christopher Robin. You're the only one who seems to understand about tails. They don't think that what's the matter with some of these others. They've no imagination. A tail isn't a tail to them. It's just a little bit extra stuck at the back. Never mind, said Christopher Robin, rubbing his hardest. Is that better? It feels more like a tail, perhaps. It belongs again, if you know what I mean. Hello, Eeyore, said Piglet, coming up with the pole. Hello, Pooh. Oh, Pooh said that. Hello, Eeyore, said Pooh, coming up with the pole. Hello, Pooh. Thank you for asking, but I shall be able to use it again in a day or two. Use what? Said Pooh. What we were talking about. I wasn't talking about anything, said Pooh, looking puzzled. My mistake again. I thought you were saying how sorry you were about my tail being all numb. And could you do anything to help? No, said Pooh. That wasn't me, he said. And he thought for a little and then suggested helpfully, perhaps it was somebody else. Well, thank him for me when you see him. Pooh looked anxiously at Christopher Robin. Pooh's found the North Pole, said Christopher Robin. Isn't it that lovely? Pooh looked modestly down. Is that it? said Eeyore. Yes, said Christopher Robin. Is that what we're looking for? Yes, said Pooh. Oh, said Eeyore. Well, anyhow, it didn't rain, he said. They stuck the pole in the ground, and Christopher Robin tied a message onto it. North Pole, discovered by Pooh. Pooh found it. And there's the sign. And you can actually read the letters and the words. North Pole, discovered by Pooh. Pooh found it. There's Christopher Robin, Pooh Bear, Piglet, Roo, Owl, Kanga, and Rabbit. Then they all went home again, and I think, but I'm not quite sure, that Roo had a hot bath and went straight to bed. But Pooh went back to his own house, and feeling very proud of himself, what he had done, had a little something to revive himself. And that is the end of Chapter 8. Chapter 9, Piglet is entirely surrounded by water. We'll do that in a new video.